Get ready to drive anywhere. What you need to know. Have you ever wondered what it takes to drive in another country? Whether you're planning a vacation, a business trip, or an extended stay abroad, understanding the essential permit requirements across the globe is crucial. Stick around as we break down everything you need to know. Welcome to the International Drivers Association channel. We're your go-to resource for all things related to driving internationally. Today, we're diving into an essential topic: driving permit requirements by country. Understanding these requirements can save you a lot of hassle and ensure that your international driving experience is smooth and enjoyable. In this video, you'll learn about the different permit requirements in the European Union, the United States, Asia, and Australia. Let's get started. Driving permit essentials by country. European Union. One permit for many countries. First up, let's talk about the European Union, EU. One of the great things about driving in the EU is that once you have a valid permit from any EU country, you can generally drive in other EU countries without needing additional permits. However, there are some nuances. If you're planning to stay longer than 6 months in another EU country, you may need to exchange your existing permit for a local one. Make sure your current permit is valid and not expired. Some countries might have additional requirements for specific types of vehicles or professional drivers. For example, if you're moving from Germany to France and plan to stay for more than 6 months, you'll need to exchange your German driving license for a French one. Always check local regulations before you travel. United States, state-by-state requirements. Next, let's talk about the United States. Unlike the EU, driving regulations in the US vary significantly from state to state. Each state has its own Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, with specific requirements. If you're visiting for a short period, most states will allow you to drive with an International Driving Permit, IDP, along with your home country's license. If you're planning a longer stay or moving permanently, you'll likely need to obtain a local driver's license. For instance, if you're visiting California for a few weeks, an IDP and your home country's license will suffice. But if you're moving to New York, you'll need to pass both written and road tests to get a New York State driver's license. Asia. Diverse regulations and international permits. Asia is incredibly diverse when it comes to driving regulations. Here are some key points. In Japan, you'll need an IDP issued under the 1949 Geneva Convention on Road Traffic. Note that Japan doesn't recognize permits issued under the 1968 Vienna Convention. China doesn't accept IDPs at all. You'll need to apply for a temporary Chinese driver's license. In India, while an IDP is generally accepted for short stays, long-term visitors will need to get an Indian driving license. For example, if you're traveling around Japan on vacation, make sure your IDP is issued under the 1949 Geneva Convention. On the other hand, if you're moving to China for work, be prepared to go through their process for obtaining a temporary local license. Australia. Simple yet strict rules. Finally, let's look at Australia. The country has relatively straightforward but strict rules. An IDP is usually required along with your home country's license. Some states require you to carry both documents at all times while driving. If you're staying longer than 3 months in certain states like Victoria or New South Wales, you'll need to apply for a local driver's license. For example, if you're backpacking through Australia and driving between states like Queensland and Victoria, make sure you have both your IDP and home country's license with you at all times. If you decide to settle in Sydney for more than 3 months, start the process of obtaining a local license as soon as possible. Ready to hit the road? To recap. 1. The European Union offers a relatively seamless experience once you have a valid permit from any EU country. 2. In the United States, driving regulations vary by state. An IDP generally suffices for short visits. 3. Asia has diverse requirements. Always check specific country regulations before traveling. 4. Australia requires an IDP along with your home country's license and has strict rules for long-term stays. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips and guides. And remember, for all your international driving needs and more detailed information on permits by country, visit the International Drivers Association website. Safe travels and happy driving.